Hello, my brothers and sisters. This is your sister, Queen Divine. Today, I have a message for some of our African women who are in Africa. I have this topic for you guys. I want to let you know that you guys should never put yourselves in bondage, or because your guys are traveling abroad, and some of them will tell you as they are traveling out of the country, I want to marry you, let me go and pay your dowry. Or some will tell you, you should go to my mama's place and stay with her. So when I come back, we are going to carry out our wedding. And some of them will also tell them, maybe within a year or two, I'm back. So some of those ladies, they will accept, many of them will accept, and many of them will go to their parents, the guy's parents' house to be waiting for this guy. For years, the guy will not come. So I want to use, and some of these are ladies too. Some of them are also greedy. They will also want, during that process, when the guy tells them he's already preparing his documents to travel abroad, some of those greedy ones will not get pregnant, to stalk him down, to hold him down, so that when he comes, she will not be enjoying his money with him, and he will automatically marry her. But these people doesn't understand the ways, the type of life people live overseas. They think that overseas is very, very easy. When you come here, you start making money, you start sending money to them. That's the reason so many of them got into such relationship where they will be in Africa, their guys will be overseas. And some got married to these ladies, they now left them, and they are here overseas, and the women, their wives, are in Africa. Now, there are so many problems which has arrived through this relationship and marriages. So many of those women goes out having fun with other men, and so many of those ladies as well ends up waiting for these guys, and they now become so old, and at the end, the guy will not marry them. Some will come home with someone else. So many problems in this type of relationship. So I just want to enlighten my African ladies in Africa that when you are in a relationship with a guy and it happens he wants to travel out, you should let him go, and you should tell him as you are going, I cannot wait for you. If it happens that you come back and meet me single and you feel you still love this person, you can still, the decision is left for you. If this guy is also lucky, he meets you single and he wants to get married after he has gotten his documents, after he has struggled so much and now is settled, it's now your decision to make. Because when someone travels abroad, you cannot live in that country without having a residential permit. You need a stay that will keep you in that country. If not, you will be deported back to your countries. And so many of those ladies doesn't have such ideas that that's the way it operates. And these things about documents is not something easy. It's not something that you can even get within a year, even 2, 3, 4, 5 years. There are some people that have been overseas even 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they still don't have a residential permit. So many of those African women, you guys should know that the moment you're trying to hook him up and maybe get pregnant so that he will come and marry you, or you went and stay with their parents, you should know you are wasting your time, because overseas, there are so many ways to have your stay. There are some countries you have to get married to somebody of that citizens to have, you have to have kids to anyone in that country with a stay or a passport before you can also have your documents. And it's not easy to get someone who is going to marry you. So there are so many procedures. You're going to stay for a long time. And now, so many of those ladies are now having problems. There are some good ladies out there who waited for years. At the end, they now went outside to sleep around with men, other men, and this has brought a lot of divisions, separations into so many African marriages because of their husband who traveled out of the country. So I want to let you ladies know in Africa that if you have a guy, if your husband is going abroad, it is better people should stay and suffer together, manage yourselves, because you should know as your husband is leaving, that marriage is not going to work anymore, because the guy now have to start a new family when he gets to overseas, because overseas is not easy. You can't stay in a foreign land without having a permit that is going to make you stay in that country. And to have those things has a lot of procedures before you can have the stay. So women, if you know you have a man, you are married and he wants to travel out, you should not allow them to go. You should stay together and manage whatsoever you guys are having. Eat together, manage what you have, and train up your kids. The moment you accept your husband to go out to any other country, and then you are going to lose him. If he's coming back, he may come back with another woman, or you may be the one that's going to end up breaking up the marriage by going out sleeping around with someone else. And you should know, as a married woman, this thing is forbidden in Africa. And you should also know that African men, they have so much ego, they will never forgive you the moment he goes out there to sleep around with somebody else. You should know that inside your mind. So, for those also who want to hook up a guy because this guy is traveling out of the country, you guys are making a big mistake. You should never force a child on a guy just because you want to get married to him, or in the name of longer throat, you want to enjoy his words with him when he comes back. And at the end, the moment you are there waiting for these guys, if the families of this person doesn't like you, they are going to start telling the guy you are sleeping around with different men, and they are going to keep an eye on you. So please, ladies, my African ladies, if you have a guy who is traveling and you're not married, let him go. Hustle first. If he is yours, he will come back for you. If it doesn't work, let it be. If he comes back from overseas, having already his papers and everything, having passing all his struggles, and now he comes back, he wants to marry you, that's a good thing. And as he's marrying you, he should take you along with him. Never you allow any guy from Europe, from any country all over the world, to get married to you and keep you in Africa, because you're going to lose your relationship and your marriage with them. You should marry someone who has his paper already, who has already settled down in Africa, and when he comes down to Africa to marry you, he should take you along with him, because he has a stay already. Because at the end, you may end up messing around, and that's not good. So my African sisters, you guys should be very, very careful. If you are married and your husband wants to travel out, he should stay with you and settle and also with you. Whatever you guys have, just manage it. If you are not yet married and you are dating a guy who's about traveling, let him travel. And you should let him know as he's leaving, anything can happen. You're not going to wait for anybody. You start a new life. If he is yours, if you are lucky, when you are still single, he can come down to Africa and get married to you, and he should take you along with him. That's the best thing. You should never allow a guy to marry you and keep you in Africa, and he is here, and tomorrow you ends up sleeping around with different men, or in the name of so many years I can't bear it anymore. But you should know what you put yourself in the first place. You know someone is going out traveling to somewhere else, and you accepted to marry them, so you should be ready to face every battles that comes your way. If you know you cannot stay, you want him to get married to you and leave you in Africa, then you should abide to the rules. You should never go out sleeping around with someone else because you are married. If you know you cannot keep yourself to wait for your man because you accepted it, he never used a cutlass or a knife or a gun to point on your throat, so you should be able to face every circumstances that comes within you. So my sisters, you should be very patient. If you know you're going to get married to any guy who is overseas, you have and is going to leave you in Africa, you should know what you're going to face, and you should not go about sleeping around, because the moment you sleep around, you've already destroyed your marriage. So if you know you cannot stay, you cannot keep yourself, you cannot resist the temptations, you should tell him, don't marry me for now. You just hold on. When you are back, if I'm still single, we can still be together. Never you let greediness destroy you and turns you out into a single mother or into a wife that people will be insulting. That's what every African woman should understand. That's just the truth. So I said, let me give some of you information about the situations here overseas, because overseas is not easy. You have to learn a lot of things. You have to go through a lot of struggles before you can have your stay, before you can have a very solid life overseas. Living here is not easy, and so you should not start forcing yourself, putting yourself in bondages, or in the name of you want to be an Akaterian woman. Huh? That's sad. So you guys should be careful. Because when you make the first mistakes in life, that mistake is going to ruin you forever. So be very, very careful, ladies, my African ladies who are in Africa. It's not everything that glitters that is good. It's not all that glitters that is good. So you guys should be careful. Okay, there are so many good, handsome, great, rich guys in Africa. You can also get married to them, and these guys are also there. They are wealthy, more wealthier than people overseas. They can also travel. There are so many guys in Africa. They got the money. They travel everywhere, all over the world. If you love such life, then you have to cool down, be responsible, and look for such people instead of putting yourself in bondages, all in the name of you want to be a wife of an Akaterian. So thank you, viewers, my brothers and sisters. God bless you all. Happy weekend to every one of you. God bless you. Bye. I love you guys. Bye.